Hey guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to 2023. So this will be a brief and short discussion about the iPhone 13 Pro. As you guys know, in 2022, I bought the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max and the 14 Plus. Now, it kind of got to me on my primary line when I had to switch my SIM cards around and I was switching from eSIM to eSIM and I got a little annoyed. So I decided to go ahead and purchase a 1 terabyte iPhone 13 Pro. This device has been actually fairly decent overall. I mean, it's been a great experience and I'm getting the same experience that I've gotten on the 14 Pro when I had it as well. So I got rid of the 14 Pro Max and the 14 Pro and I closed out 2022 with the 13 Pro. I still have the 14 Plus and I will be keeping that device because it is on another line, my second line. But this device is what I want to talk about right now. And I want to get it across to a lot of people that in 2023, I'm probably not going to buy as many phones if they don't give me a serious update. So seeing as though I have the 13 Pro right now, that means my next purchase will be the 15 Pro or whatever the name of the next iPhone, because I'm sure this device will be great all the way for the next couple of years. I'm sure it'll get a lot of updates, but I'm wondering what Apple is going to do with the next iteration of an iPhone. So I will for sure purchase another iPhone this year in September or October when it releases, if in fact they do make some major overhauls and some major changes. Now, right now, the main purpose of going back to the 13 Pro in 2022 was simply because of the eSIM. My primary line is what I use when I'm testing devices, and I really got tired of logging into my T-Mobile account, changing the eSIM, getting the text message, converting it over. I just got tired of doing that, so I decided to just buy this. On the other hand, now let's talk about how it has been for me. So it is the new year and that doesn't mean anything. We still got to keep this tech thing going. So here we go. Now, is the iPhone 13 Pro really worth it for you to purchase in 2023? And the short answer is absolutely. Now, unless you can get a Canadian version of the iPhone 14 Pro, you might as well just get the iPhone 13 Pro. I didn't know how I would feel about going back to this cutout at the top, but honestly, folks, I don't see a difference. I do like the dynamic island, the idea of it, the usefulness of it. I genuinely like it, but I got to tell you, I'm still okay with the 13 Pro. I wanted to go back to this device for the eSIM, but also for the size. Having the 14 Pro Max after owning the 13 Pro Max for so long, the 13 Pro Max is still in the house, but I'd like to travel with a small device. Now, in 2023, you might see a shift to pretty much a bunch of devices that are small in size with a 6-inch screen or below. Because just because I have ginormous hands, it doesn't mean that I want to use a ginormous device all the time. And some of these devices can get very big. Now, here's where Apple wins with their devices, because their devices have premium hardware. This device is absolutely phenomenal in size. And I think this is the sweet spot for me with a style of device. Now, I do have the Pixel 7. I bought that one when the Pixel 7 Pro was sent out to me by Google. Shout out to Google. But this style of device with the rounded corners is definitely what I'm going to be looking forward to in 2023 and going forward. I am pretty much tired of carrying around very large devices. While they do have some benefit, Apple's hardware hasn't changed much over the years since the iPhone 12, I believe. The 11 was really rounded off, which was actually pretty good. I really like that style. But the 10 was rounded off as well, but just having the option for a small powerhouse compact device like this is definitely worth it. And I think Apple's hardware cannot be questioned by anyone. I think I was on a stream recently discussing this, and everybody can agree that Apple's hardware is on the phenomenal side. They haven't changed the design much, but just the hardware, how premium it feels, it is just a fact. They've done a phenomenal job. And this is why they probably don't change their hardware very much, because why change something that's working? People know this design, they like the style, and that's just simple. So having and one thing also I like about Apple products is they don't skimp on the smaller versions of the device in most cases, meaning you're getting the same device just in a smaller package. And that's something that a lot of companies are starting to do by downgrading the small version and making the big version have all the quirks and special items. Well, sometimes when you want that, you have to search far for it, but Apple seems to do a great job at giving you a small, compact, powerful device. This is something that I'm looking forward to Android devices doing in the future. Now, Apple is known for having smooth, buttery software. This is no exception. Even though on iOS 16, I'm on the latest one, the battery life is what I really want to talk about. But first, we got to tackle how smooth this software is. It's always been this way. No problems whatsoever with anything coming with software on this device. Everything is just so buttery smooth. Performance on it is really good. You shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. You're going to get timely updates. If there's something that goes wrong with the device, you're going to get it fixed, and it's just that simple. Apple does great when something breaks. They fix it in a timely manner with their software updates, and they push them out. And so we can expect software updates on this device for at least the next 5 years. At least the next 5 years. So coupled with beautiful hardware, a beautiful software experience, the internals on here really make it. They have all these fancy names like the A15, the A16, and all these other things. I'm really looking for them to make a M1 iPhone. And a lot of people say, well, Jay, they technically already have one because its performance is about the same. I just wanted to say M1. I just wanted to officially put out an iPhone with an M1 processor. So software aside, hardware aside, battery life is where the 13 Pro used to be a little weak, but once iOS 16 hit this device, the battery life improved significantly. I mean, it is the battery life on this thing is so good, it's incredible. I can go a couple days now, possibly even 3 sometimes. I know I can go a full weekend without charging this device because they do have that power saving mode as well. So you pretty much can, I have a shortcut for it, but you can go into your battery and you can go into low power mode and you can really knock home some long battery life on this thing. So battery life, if that's a problem for you or you feel like it will be something in question, I think you should be fine on iOS 16. You shouldn't have a problem with that. So an area where people are in question about is always going to be the cameras. Now, I shoot a lot of content. As a matter of fact, let me show you something here that I shot earlier today. This guy, one of my neighbors, was riding by and I caught him leaving. And man, do you see how crisp and clear that doggone video is? This was spur of the moment, just shooting that real quick. But I shot one of my videos on my car channel, my latest video on my car channel. I shot it with this device right here. And it's just been phenomenal. I mean, the way Apple does their cameras, I say Apple has some of the best cameras in the game. They do. They have some of the best cameras in the game. And I actually used this camera. I actually was taking my GoPro with me to shoot this footage, but my GoPro died and I had my phone only and I had driven very far to shoot this video. And I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'll use the iPhone. So I plugged up an external microphone and I got it popping. And that is something that Apple is known for doing, having great cameras. You just really can't beat this type of quality. This is beautiful. This was footage I was shooting for the channel. And it's just beautiful quality, hands down. People may clown Apple for having, for them saying they have the best cameras. They may not have the best cameras in the game, but they definitely have cameras that I respect now. And I was one to question their cameras all the time back in the day about the brown hue. And I found out I'm going to make these cameras work for me. They don't do as good for vlogs of people. I don't like how it looks when I film myself. But when it's filming other things in a really bright area and it's well lit, this is where you see people vlogging with iPhones. It looks phenomenal. If I was going to vlog outdoors with an iPhone, it looks great. Hands down. They do have some of the best cameras in the game. I'm not going to call them the best cameras of all time, but these are some of the greatest, folks. And they work well for me when I'm recording things, because I think the color reproduction on here, when it's filming things, objects other than people indoors, outdoors, these cameras are a beast. They are great. And I notice now on my car channel, some people are asking, hey, would you take that photo with, or what are you filming with? And a lot of times it's going to be the Pixel 7 Pro or the S22 Ultra, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the iPhone 14 Plus, the Z Fold 4. I'm filming with something. They can tell when I'm not using one of my cameras, my cameras that I normally film with. So folks, camera is on point. So we're checking the boxes going into 2023, and cameras, batteries, software, hardware, those are just the basics. Performances should be important to you, but when it comes to price, folks, iPhones are some of the most expensive devices that you could possibly purchase, and they are probably never going to be worth it to a lot of people. But a lot of people who are on these iPhone trade-in programs and stuff like that, they're going to tell you it's completely worth it. So for me, I got this 1 terabyte iPhone 13 Pro for $950 outright. I think that's a great deal considering it came out costing about $1,500 before taxes. I think this is a great deal if you can still find one. And I bought it brand new for $950 plus taxes. So the iPhone 13 Pro, folks, is definitely worth it in 2023. And there's a lot of people that are still using the iPhone 13 Pro that you had bought originally. Remember, I bought it and then bought it again after I sold my 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. So should you buy the iPhone 13 Pro in 2023? The quick answer is heck yeah, you should. It's totally worth it. If you want a small powerhouse iPhone and you're not interested in buying the 14 or the 14 Plus, or you just really want an eSIM gone, and you want to be able to put your SIM from phone to phone, this is what you're going to have to do. This hardware is nice because it's hardware that we already know and we're used to it. And so I'm going to tell you right now, I'm totally happy with my 13 Pro. Unless something fails on it, I think we probably are just going to be rolling with this is my iPhone. My small iPhone, I should say. So have I had any problems with this software? Yes, I have had problems with iOS 16 on the latest the second to the last update where it was freezing a lot. Like the screen would just freeze and it just wouldn't, I couldn't get it. I had to wait for it to catch up and then it would unfreeze itself. That is the only problem I've had. But other than that, folks, I'm totally happy with the 13 Pro. Highly recommend it still at this point. It's offering way too much and it's way too powerful. And if you can get a 13 lineup, any of the 13 lineups, so you can keep your SIM card, this is a win. So we're going to kick off 2023 with one of the best phones that a lot of people say hit the market back when it came out. I'd have to agree. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.